4. Welcome everyone back to Curiosities. I'm your host JV Torres, and let me tell you, there's some crazy things that happen, and you reach a certain point in your life when you're just sitting there going, "Man, like where did all my brain cells go? You know, like where all my good thoughts gone?" Sometimes you feel that drain, and sometimes I feel that drain too, and it's not unnatural. It's just a common occurrence, I suppose. Which brings me to my new guests that I'm having on the show for the first time. They have their own show, and it's on a podcast format. It's also on YouTube. And I'm going to introduce you to these two fellows. And the name of their program is The Last Two Brain Cells, or just Last Two Brain Cells. And please welcome, give a very warm Curiosities welcome to Donovan and Austin.
Yeah!
It's an Last Two Brain Cells. Welcome to Curiosities. And I think Donovan and I had a couple of conversations. I think maybe we had one conversation on the phone, I believe. And then we're just kind of texting back and forth. Does that count as a conversation, first of all?
That's a great question.
It counts for at least half.
I always wondered because this is where you venture into muddy waters, especially when you're in relationships. You know, because like if you're texting a girl or you texting and she texts you and you don't text her back, and then she gets really angry.
That's a problem.
Like, yeah. You know what I mean? Like, what the hell were you doing that you couldn't take 2 seconds to text me back? And then it becomes a problem. It becomes a drama. And it's like, whoa, hold on a second. You know, it's like, it's not what you think. And that's like the worst possible thing you could ever say. So I don't know. It's really dependent on who you're texting to establish whether or not you're having a conversation. Would you guys agree to that?
Yeah, totally. I'd say we had a conversation too. I think there was a little conversation. Yeah.
Okay, so Donovan and I have had multiple conversations given that criteria. And which really I want to just first of all give you guys before I don't want to like totally like run away with this, but I really want to give you guys a chance to just introduce yourselves, talk a little bit about your show so our listeners and our viewers can find out a little bit more about who Last Two Brain Cells are. Go take it away.
Yeah. Donovan, you want to go or should I hit this?
You got this, brother.
All right. Well, we are the Last Two Brain Cells. My name is Austin, and I got my boy Donovan up here. We are best friends from growing up. We grew up together, and we are excited to finally share some of the conversations we have in our own living room with the people. We think this world is a very serious place, and it needs a little bit more silly in it. So our whole goal is to get the silliest curiosity-based thoughts possible and just run with it and see where it takes us each week. And we try to do something experimental, different, stupid, while also being a little educational. It's really a show about two best friends trying to hang out with the rest of the world and make it a little more fun.
You know, forgive me for seeing the stereotype in here, guys. I mean, you got to forgive me for this, but you know, you got your tall black hair guy and the blonde hair guy. It's so stereotypical, man. You know, you probably people going, "Hey, is this like a Beavis and Butthead type thing? What's going on here?" Did anybody can make the comparison to other like characters that are out there? Because you always see them. It's like a motif.
Oh, totally. I think we both grew up beach kids, so we got some beach kid energy in us. We got some rocket power. We got another podcast going deep with Chad and JT. It's like really Southern California beach vibes with us, I feel like, and we very much play that stereotype well.
Whoa, like, you know, it's so funny, and I'm hoping that we can have a real like just a down to earth conversation. I'm thinking that's where we're going with this. And you said Chad, and you said Chad, and that triggered something in me because I'm one of those guys, and my wife really gives me like a lot of hell about it, and she probably has every reason to. But I'm one of those guys that watch these YouTubers, right, that sit there and analyze TikTok videos of women who are complaining about the dating scene, right? And they're always bringing up the Chad. Oh, Is that what you were referring to? To?
No, there's a group of two guys that are very similar to us called Chad and JT. They're less chatty than a normal Chad. Yeah.
How do you define Chad? What is Chad in your mind?
Giga Chad is like a guy who's going to the gym with his shirt off, not so much because he needs the ability to breathe, but he wants everyone to know he's a big man. He's a tank.
Chad probably has like.
Think?
I think the Chad. Yeah, if I could take this one, I would love to. I could go off on this for a while.
Please do.
A big man. A Chad is the man who walks into the room, all eyes on Chad. If Chad's not getting his way, it's Chad's way or the highway. You know what I'm saying? I think Chad is what every woman thinks she wants until she has one. I think Chad is like the ultimate symbol for toxic masculinity. And I think I don't know, maybe if you get the false impression that we're Chads, we're doing a bad job. I think we're the opposite of Chads. We are beta cucks. Can we swear?
Well, if it's too drastic, I will like beep it out. And you guys have to understand, I am a public school teacher. I have to put that out there. So I try to keep it as clean as possible. Okay.
Oh yeah.
I try.
But
I know you guys go off, and I'm listening to you guys. I'm like, wow, these guys really let it all hang out, man. Not literally. Okay.
Sometimes literally.
Yeah.
You never know.
We have a very.
Although sometimes you do. Sometimes your conversations go weird to me, man. Why do you guys do that?
Because no one else does. Because I think it's important to get weird. And why is anything taboo? We're all gonna die. Let's get weird.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah. Touche, man. Touche.
Yeah, I think a lot of our thoughts we have are like those types of thoughts you would have in the shower and keep to yourself, and you'd never really share it with anybody else. But we're here to just let all reins loose and talk about our wildest things we can think of.
Yeah, but see, like, there's a thing, like when you were, I don't know about you, I don't know about now, but when I was in high school, sometimes we take showers after gym, right? Mm-hmm. And that's like, it's an awkward situation to be in, you know? And there's a number of reasons why.
Totally.
It's always weird. It's always weird when you're in a room of showers with other dudes. That's just strange to me.
Yeah, but it's weird because we make it weird. You know what I'm saying? Because we privatize certain parts of the body. Like things that that concept didn't exist if you're like a Greek from 2,000 years ago. You just public baths are just how it's done, you know. But yeah, because we grew up with all this anxiety about, oh, is my penis good enough? Is my penis cool? Do I have a nice piece? You know, it's so all of a sudden there are these comparisons being drawn, and it's a sensitive topic when it doesn't need to be. Penises are penises. We all got one. Let them hang.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. I think, you know, it's one of those things where societal norms are holding us back from having a great time. I think a great example is my boy Donovan and I, when we are in the middle of our show, we take a pee-pee break and we go and we pee together. We're peeing into the same toilet. And I'm going to tell you,
I was afraid you were going to say that.
I see his dangler and you know, sometimes I laugh at it. And I think life is an awkward thing. And as soon as you can embrace that awkward and giggle about it, we're all a little happier.
Yeah, I can't say I've ever done anything of that sort, but I'll take your word for it, Austin.
It's never too late.
I don't know, man. Hey, I'm in my 50s. I'm pretty set in my ways, dude.
Yeah, you do you. That's the thing. You don't have to share your dangler if you don't want to. It's a free country. That's all I say. And you know, open invite. If you do feel like you want to branch out and we can have a little pee-pee break together, come on down. You're more than welcome.
It's kind of like when you're at a football game and everyone pees in a trough. It's like the same thing, but the thing is longer. Yeah. It's just your place you shoot is a lot shorter.
Yeah, that trough is disgusting.
I'll say, you guys, I've been listening to you guys for a minute, and I'll tell you, you guys put some real perturbing visuals in my head sometimes. I'm like, these guys, man. So speaking of guys, right? And I emailed you guys earlier one of the topics I want to get into, and you had mentioned hygiene, right, Austin? You were talking about showering, which is we all need to do that.
Oh yeah.
But I had sent Donovan a message earlier because one of the things I wanted to bring up is this question, and it's something that's fairly recent, at least I think it is. Correct me if I'm wrong, but then there's this thing when you go to Walmart or when you go buy your groceries or whatever, and there's this thing called dude wipes. Like they created a wipe specifically for dudes. Okay. Yeah. Now I admit I do purchase them. Okay. But how different and why was this necessary? That was the question I have for you. Now, either one of you can answer that question. Why was it necessary to create dude wipes? Why?
Yeah. I'd love to go in on this one. I think it kind of goes back to what we were just speaking on a little bit with societal norms. I think cleanliness has generally been reserved for the feminine side of expression. And I think a lot of men are supposed to be tough and dirty and the Chad that walks in the room. And when I see Chad, he's sweaty. He's glistening. He's a sweaty guy.
That is either gross or smells like axe. There's no in between.
And for a long time, I don't think it's been societally acceptable for Chad to go use Dove lotion on his skin because, he doesn't want to end up feeling feminine in a way because he feels some sort of shame due to toxic masculinity. But what's crazy about dude wipes is, if they touch a girl, they don't burst into flames. It's the same product. But what's amazing about it is it really finally convinced dudes like, I'm cleaning myself, but manly, right? No worries.
Recording. All right, so now Austin's on top. How about that?
Yeah, kind of fun. Look at that. We switched. We're exciting guys.
Yeah.
Hey, I had a friend who was bald, and as a joke, I gave him a brush for Christmas. Does that make me a douche?
I think it's pretty funny.
No, that's a good one.
I think that's pretty good, especially if you're buddies. It's all good. You got to.
I gave another bald guy. Another bald guy gave him shampoo. That's what brought that. It's like the shampoo.
Oh yeah.
He's like, oh, you're a real smart ass. I'm like, yeah. It's just whatever. Anyway,
I love that. You get the top of that real shiny.
No, going back to what you were saying though, you're so right, and I think we all just fall victim to marketing. Is really what it is. I mean. Do I find it different, the dude wipe, than any of the other wipes? No, I don't really think there's much of a difference. Do you guys?
Can I ask, what's the experience like? Is it scented? Is it rougher texture? Why is it the dude wipe?
Well, the one that I prefer is one it's called the Odor Destroyer.
There you go.
Cool.
It's literally what it's called. It's called the Odor Destroyer, and it does have a nice scent to it. I actually look forward to it because of that nice smell. It just relaxes you, man. It's really tranquil.
Yeah,
it's weird as that sounds, but no, it doesn't. It doesn't have like an Old Spice smell to it or anything like that.
Okay, I see. Yeah, I would love to use one. I would love to use a dude wipe and then a girl wipe, and then just test the difference. One on one pit, one on the other pit, and then go about my day. And then at the end of the day, see which one's more effective.
It's like the Coke Pepsi challenge. They're very much the same thing, but which one's better? We might have to do a blind test.
Yeah, that would be really fun.
That'd be cool.
I know you guys have ventured. I know I'm listening, like I said, and I know you guys ventured off into like other countries. I'd really like to pick your brain about some of those adventures you've done outside of the U.S. That seems really interesting to me. And there is one country that Austin and I have both visited. He had mentioned that he had visited Nicaragua.
Yes.
I also have visited Nicaragua.
Right
were you in Managua? Were you in Managua?
I was in
Managua too.
There we were, maybe at the same time. You never know.
This was, I'm gonna say 2003, 2004, somewhere around there.
I was 2010.
You were probably a kid, if anything.
Yes, I was. The hair was the same length, but I was a little shorter.
I'm sure. Guys, it's absolutely fun to have you guys on this show. I really want to explore some more topics, but given that we had that little technical difficulty, we're going to cut this segment now. But just want to give you guys a chance to plug your show. I'm going to go ahead and drop your website on here, but tell us where to find you.
Austin,
should I take it? All right. Well, hey, we're the Last Two Brain Cells. We are on any place that you listen to podcasts. Right now, we're trying to boost our YouTube, get those subscribers going. We got a Patreon as well, but it's Last Two Brain Cells podcast on most platforms. Probably the easiest way to do is we have a Linktree, the Last Two Brain Cells Linktree. It has everything you could ever need. And come on, have some fun with us. If you want to get a little goofy, we're here to get goofy.
And they are goofy, but let me tell you, it's really entertaining, and it's hard to keep my attention because I'm kind of adult ADHD sometimes. But you guys, the way you flow your conversations keeps my attention, and I'm like, listen. And I have drives, and I drive a lot, so I'm always listening to something. And you guys, kind of take a lot of my time now. So you guys got me as a fan. You guys have got me as a fan. So all that information will be in the description below as well. Make sure you give a click to their links, and you can check them out there. Donovan and Austin, it's been an absolute pleasure. I'm looking forward to the next conversation we're going to have you on the other side of this.
The pleasure is ours. Thank you.
And until next time, everyone, God bless.